Yes. Okay. So you're off stage essentially.
All right. Looks like we should be live. Let's confirm that. Let's hang out for a minute. If you see us live in Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, or Twitter or X now, let us know. Drop us a comment. Say hello. Let us know from where you're joining. We're going to hang out for a couple of minutes to give everyone a chance to make their way to the stream. Let's see. I'm going to pop over to Facebook to see if I can confirm that we're live.
We are, and I went ahead and just pinned that streaming for you, Chase.
Great. I see it. Awesome. All right. I see some comments. Ivan, you're the first comment over on YouTube. Thanks for joining. Where are you joining us from? Okay. We see Zet Vision. I see an anonymous on Facebook. Pam's in Orlando. All right. People are jumping in. So let's hang out just a couple of more minutes so that everybody has a chance to make their way in. And I'm excited. We're going to introduce some amazing speakers today for our event in February, right, guys?
Did you see that, Chase? There was someone from Mexico.
Oh, nice. Which part? I see Pakistan's in the house, Vegas. We're going to be in Vegas next month for traffic conversion. So if anyone's going to be there, be sure to come say hello.
Yeah,
we've got
Maryland.
You from Vegas?
Who's in Vegas?
I said there's a few that came through from Vegas.
Oh, yeah. I'm excited. I've never been to Vegas before. It's going to be my first time.
Same here.
Yeah? Nice.
Canada's
in the house.
Got Atlanta. Yeah. Maryland, Virginia, Canada, Mexico.
Oh, Chihuahua. That's where they have that really cool train ride. Okay. I see our attendance is still climbing. So let's hang on for just another minute and then we'll get started. Bring warm clothes. I was wondering that. It's going to be cold in Vegas? January?
Right. Good to know.
Solana Beach, California. We've got Dallas. All right.
Yeah.
Nigeria. Wow. Awesome. Okay, cool. So I think we're starting to stabilize. We are coming up on 100 people on the stream. That's awesome. So let's go ahead and kick this off. I'm going to share my screen here. And let's just make sure that works. Present, share screen, speaker reveal. All right. Everybody can see that? Fantastic. So if you didn't join us for the last webinar, some quick details. The next mastermind is in Dallas, Texas. It's going to run from February 7th through the 9th. And as always, we like to kick these things off with a little hype video. So let's take a quick peek at what we'll be up to in February. All right. So as you can see, we have a ton of fun. We do a ton of networking. You're going to have the opportunity, if you join us there, to meet a lot of fellow SaaSPRENEURs at all stages of the journey. And we're really going to, and we'll recap a little bit on this webinar as far as what we're going to cover at the event. But the reason that we're here,
I think your point is really important. There'll be attendees from all stages of their journey. Those that are just getting started, you might recall there was the lady that was at the last one that she just signed up and already had 5 customers. Well, she was brand new, but you'll also have very seasoned people that have hundreds of SaaS customers. So all levels are welcome.
Absolutely. All levels are welcome. We're going to make sure that if you are at the beginning of your journey, that you leave knowing exactly how you're going to get your first 5 SaaS clients. If you're more advanced, you're going to have the opportunity to network with lots of people that can help you really scale from there, including the two folks that we're about to introduce today. So today's our Speaker Reveal webinar. So without further ado, there we go. I have the pleasure of introducing our first speaker, who is somebody that has been fantastic to get to know over the years. We've hung out in his hometown quite frequently, and he has helped countless high levelers sort of refine their offering and really scale in the space. So without further ado, our first speaker is Mr. Mike Cooch.
All right. Go, Mike.
Hey. Woohoo.
Mike, I was so pumped to hear that you were going to be joining us. How do I... let me just kill the screen share to give you a little more FaceTime. There we go.
Oh, yeah.
So Mike is out in San Diego. Mike, tell the people, give us a little bit of your backstory and what you've been doing with the community over the years.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, first, thank you guys. I'm excited to be here. I can't wait for the event. Looking forward to connecting to people in person. I love these opportunities to connect with people in person at your events. It's awesome. A little bit of background. So I have been selling services to small businesses my entire career, starting in IT services and then in marketing services, and was able to have good success growing those companies very quickly. And the reasons why primarily are this whole idea of productizing services. So making services more tangible, turning them into packages that are easier to understand, easier for a customer to buy, easier to see the benefit from, and then generating recurring revenue for the service provider. Those things, that brief little statement right there, that's essentially the foundation of the success in my career as a service provider. And then that's what I've been helping other marketing entrepreneurs do as well. And high level is the absolute perfect tool, resource, community, everything to help us do that, which is amazing and why I'm such a raving fan.
Exactly. I really think it's a perfect fit. And I know that you were sort of selling services, systems as a service before SaaS Mode even existed. And I feel like SaaS Mode has become such a great mechanism to sort of make that all easier. And so I'm really excited about what you're going to share at the event.
Absolutely.
And Mike, I think one thing that you do a really good job is there's a lot of facets of high level, but just the whole idea of taking and creating specific products, right? That's the cool thing. It's that productization component that really makes it easy to get moving and easy to get going.
Yeah, that is super important. I think one of the things that people underestimate when they're putting their services together and when they're selling them is how much confusion is a factor in getting somebody to buy and getting somebody to be satisfied with a service. And, I'm sure everybody watching this realizes that high level comes out with a new feature like every 30 minutes, which is incredible for us because it gives us so much that we can build around. But I think that, too many service providers, what they think is, high level release a new service. That means now I've got to immediately push it and start talking about it to the marketplace. And that can create confusion if it's not part of a structured offer that you're presenting with some good organization to your prospects and customers, for sure.
Yeah. Also, Mike, can you speak a little bit to SaaSpreneurship? I know you've built software companies in the past. You came from the IT space, and I know you and I have shared a lot about the MSP model, and now that's possible for the marketing industry. Can you take 30 seconds on that?
Yeah. I mean, look, what has been proven many times here over the last handful of decades is that like software is essentially like the best business model in the world, right? It's hard to argue that there are very many that are better than that. But developing software, as I have painfully learned several times in my career, is not very easy. It's a difficult task. And the fact that we are able to leverage what you guys are doing as if it's our own software platform, but then just as importantly, the way that you have built it so it's not just the software platform, because that's critical. Because if you're out there just selling the software platform, you're a commodity, because a bunch of us have access to the software platform now. But if you are selling the way that we can layer our services on top of the software, the way that we can creatively package access to features and benefits of the software differently than other service providers, depending on the needs of our customers. And we can do all that with automation, automatic rebilling, all the amazing stuff that comes along with the scalability and profitability of software is just, I know it's hypey sounding to say it's a game changer for our industry, but it is. I mean, it is the game changer for our industry. So it's a big deal.
Absolutely.
I love it. Well, as I mentioned before, Mike has already helped coach thousands of high levelers to get them to the next level. So I'm super excited for what you're going to bring to the stage live. Here's a chance to hear it from Mike in person in Dallas at a fantastic venue. So Mike, thanks so much for joining us, and we'll see you in February.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate the opportunity to connect with the community as always, and we'll see you there.
All right. Awesome.
Take care.
Okay, Paulson, I'm going to swing it over to you. Let me share my screen again, and we can, let's see here. All right. Paulson, do you want to introduce us to our second speaker?
Yeah, absolutely.
February's Mastermind.
Absolutely. So I need some drumming here, y'all. I see about 100 people watching, and everybody's a little too quiet. So give me a 1 in the chat in the Facebook streaming if you are excited for our next speaker. And this is someone that is so special to our community. And I want to tell you that I think we met her last year, and she was on stage on the SaaSPRENEUR panel with me, so I know her story. And if you are a female entrepreneur out there, this is going to be the ultimate inspiration, because there's a few that I will tell you that you should pay attention to, and Krista is one of them, especially in the entrepreneurial world for all types of people. And Krista Mashore, I want to bring her on stage. She's kind of backstage in our StreamYard here. Krista, welcome in, and I know we're so excited to have you as our second speaker. And I asked Krista, hey, can you please come in and teach SaaS and all these good things? And Krista was like, so modest. She's like, Paulson, I don't know if I want to come teach all the SaaS stuff, but I'm so happy to teach the sales and marketing and also share her inspirational story. Her story is incredible. I've got the privilege to hear it recently on Brad Leah's podcast the other day. So Krista, welcome in. Oh, let me have you unmute. We want to listen to you just real quick with all those cool plaques behind you.
There you go.
Hi there. Thanks everyone for having me. I'm super excited. I love Go High Level. I've been using them for a few years now, and I'm just really excited to be able to come talk about sales and marketing, because that's my thing. And I'm excited.
Exactly. And Krista, if you don't know Krista, and she probably won't tell you this, but she has a business now that runs well over $1 million a month with a lot of people behind her. Very busy person and doing really well. And can you speak a little bit to High Level? Like, when did you guys take on High Level? What are you most excited about teaching to the SaaSpreneurs out there? And I know you're an award-winning SaaSpreneur now.
Yes. So thank you for that, by the way. So I have been in the coaching industry I just hit the 6-year mark. I started and nobody knew who I was. I didn't have a list. I was a top agent in real estate, 17 years in a row. And I thought, I want to teach people. So I jumped into the coaching world. And over the past 2 years, we've also been helping entrepreneurs and coaches. But what was happening is that I, as a real estate agent and even as a coach, there's a lot of different softwares that you need. So in other words, I was selling a high ticket program for $25,000, and then they needed like funnels, and they needed a workflow, and they needed lead pages, and they needed all this other stuff. And so people were, they loved the program, but they were complaining about all the other fees. So I thought to myself, okay, how can I make this to where it's like everything is all in one place for my students, and I can incorporate all of that and then save the money and be able to show, like, by utilizing this, which you're getting for free as an upsell from the high ticket offer. And so I made everything that I was piecing together, which was, $2,000-$3,000 in addition they would have to pay into Go High Level. So it was great because we give them their funnels, their landing pages, their CRM, all the workflows, the email sequences, and we just build it into Go High Level for them. And then they are able to take all of our tools and replicate it and save them a ton of time and money and energy. And they're happier because they don't have to buy all this other stuff. And then I can, it's really hard to manage all these other softwares, but and to train them appropriately. But it helped us sell more. It helps us retain more. And then they start using the software. And even if they leave the coaching program, I think we've got, around 900 people, I could be wrong, in our SaaS. And so when they leave after the program, we've got them so indoctrinated with the software and the funnels and the workflows that they keep using it. And then we have also recurring revenue. So it's been working really, really well. It made my clients happier and us happier.
Absolutely. And I know when we spoke over the phone over the last couple of weeks, just kind of ironing out the event, you had mentioned, Paulson, I love the smaller masterminds that are a bit more intimate. And we take a lot of pride in our SaaSPRENEUR mastermind because it really is a mastermind where we get together, breakfast, lunch, dinner, all of that cool stuff, but you really get access to people that are doing cool things. Like Wesley said, there are people in the crowd that's going to attend from really advanced stages. They're trying to learn from Krista how to go from $500,000 to a month. And then you have folks that want to just learn how to get their first customer, and all are welcome. Krista, can you share your experience in being part of masterminds, coaching, the importance of attending an event?
So I will tell you, I have spent over $1.2 million over the past 6 years. And that's not an exaggeration. I can show you all the list of the masterminds that I've joined. I just joined another one, a brand new one, December like 3rd or 4th. It has been the catalyst to my success because there's not, first of all, you're learning from people who have done the thing that you're trying to do. It's like you're collapsing time frames, right? And they're telling you the things that they do that are working, what not to do. And there's nothing like, you can ask how to do anything. I always say, don't ask how, ask who. There's actually a book written on it by Dr. Benjamin Hardy and Dan Sullivan. And one of my mentors early on just instilled this into us, is like the importance of joining a mastermind. Even Napoleon Hill, one of the success principles that all the successful people had that he interviewed, all joined a mastermind. And I mean, I would never be where I am at. I mean, it'd be impossible for me to have, had the success that I did as quickly as I did and continue to do it without being involved in these masterminds. And it's like my husband, he's like, "You're joining another mastermind?" I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "You're already in the top 1%. I'm like, "Well, that's why, because I joined the masterminds, So, like, he goes and spends his money on racing and buying cars, and I spend my money on masterminds.
I love it. Well, Krista, thanks for jumping in for the speaker reveal. I know you got a really hectic schedule, so feel free to jump up if you want to. More than welcome to stay. Chase, back to you, and maybe we can go over some agenda and some items we have for folks that will be attending.
All right, let's do it. Thank you so much, Krista. I cannot wait to see her on stage. Again, what an opportunity. I love that. Don't ask how, ask who. And this is somebody who has, achieved not only a SaaSPRENEUR award, but the Platinum Award, was on the stage, and now should be on the stage here in a
really short order,
more intimate setting. Yeah, absolutely incredible. So Krista's going to be fantastic. Krista and Mike are going to bring a ton to this event in addition to the content that we have prepared for you. So I figured we could do a quick rundown on what we do have prepared in case you were not on the previous webinar. And let me share screen again and find the right one. There we go. All right. So the venue is amazing. The Statler in Dallas, it's a historic hotel. As you saw in the hype video, there's like an amazing restaurant and bar with a bowling alley. We have a ton of fun in the venue, and I think it really adds to the event because, obviously we spend a lot of time learning and networking, but we also spend a good amount of time having fun with each other as well. So let's sort of rapid fire through this. When it comes to the agenda, we're going to cover everything from an intro to SaaSPRENEURship. What is this term that we have sort of coined and made famous over the past couple of years? What does success in SaaSPRENEURship look like? We're going to have Krista there as living proof of sort of what extreme success with this can look like. We're going to get into the technical side of it. Wesley, we're going to have a whole room full of high levelers there that you can actually go sit down with your laptop, right, and actually hammer out technical setup type of questions.
This is one of the most important things I think that you hear from attendees, that maybe they're stuck or they're struggling, they're trying to get their automations, is that they can just walk into a room, bring their laptop, sit down next to one of our high-level staff members, technical staff members, and have them go through the automations with them, the website, make sure everything's firing exactly how they want it to be. So it's a really cool part. We had it at our previous mastermind, huge success. We had it at Summit, which was really awesome. And so this is just a staple that everybody raves about.
Yeah.
Being able to sit down with somebody and say, here's my computer, here's what I'm seeing.
Yeah, let's get me up and running. And that's the goal. We want you to walk out of here technically set up, mentally set up, just totally prepared to go get your first couple of customers or to scale to the next level, depending on where you're at. Paulson, you and I are both, well, Wesley too, we come from the agency world. So we are also going to be speaking to those folks who are coming from a traditional agency setup, looking to make the pivot.
Yeah, absolutely. So in case if you're brand new to High Level and this is a whole new world for you, believe it or not, High Level was built with agency owners in place, right? So Chase, myself, Robin, one of our co-founders, if you don't know who that is, like we all have a flavor about the agency life we had that we built into the software. So when Sean, Varun, and these guys came along, like we had agencies first as our mind. And now you'll see that agencies are not the only avatar that's in the ecosystem. We cater to almost everybody now, but just remember that it's a really hard journey to build an online business, whether you're an agency or not. When you come to the SaaSPRENEUR event, I like what Krista said, you're going to be collapsing your growth time, right? And that's really important. Instead of you launching in 2 years, you want to launch in maybe 2 months or 3 months at max. And the event is going to allow you to learn insights, not only from myself or Chase or our founders and Wesley and our speakers, but also the attendees that are there. A lot of them are big time players themselves and coaches, and they have really cool things that you can even network. And that's something you want to pay attention to. So there is a place for those that don't even want to do SaaS and they want to just bake in SaaS as one of the offers. Or if you want to go all out on SaaS, of course, that's something that we preach and sing about like it's the Christmas Carol, because we believe in it. Okay. So you can come to the event and really rapid fire your growth into 3 days. So it's Wednesday to Friday. A lot of folks even stay through the weekend and hang out and stuff like that. We do cool things in the evening, but you definitely want to convert from the traditional agency to think like a software company. And we'll talk about offers, different Trojan horses. Mike Cooch is a big SaaS hybrid guy, so he'll talk about some of the other angles, along with myself and Chase and Krista as well. And our founders will do a Q&A as well in one of those days and share their experiences. But there's multiple ways to skin the cat in this model. Okay, Chase, back to you on maybe the offers that you may want to talk about.
Yeah, so I think you pointed out something that's critical, and I'm really excited to hear Mike Cooch speak on this and really hammer the point home. But the way that we help traditional agencies pivot and the way that we help people coming in fresh get started is by really refining your core offer. We're going to show you a proven package, core simplified offer that you can take to the market that people are already buying. It's proven. And so we're definitely going to have a great session on understanding that model, as well as what we call the Trojan horse method, which we'll talk about in a bit. We've got a lot of breakout sessions. So, this is a mastermind. It's a working mastermind. Wesley, maybe you want to comment to that. It's not just listening to people on the stage, but it's actually sort of collaborating, breaking out your laptops and getting stuff done.
Yeah. And I think that's that's why we try to keep it a smaller, more intimate setting, right? If you look at like our summit that we had, the idea that obviously as you're coming to learn from speakers, this is a scenario where we'll have the speakers, but it's also the opportunity to learn from those sitting next to you. So if you look at, some of the previous events, by the end of that, there's new best friends, there's new business partners, they're collaborating on various aspects of their business. It's that more intimate setting of it. There's pros and cons of that. The struggle with that is that we don't have a lot of tickets to sell for it. But the plus side from the attendee standpoint is that ability to build a deeper relationship with those around them and learn from their peers, but also those speakers that are attending. So that's a really cool thing. I think makes it a really powerful session.
100%. From there, in addition to understanding what you're going to sell, we're going to teach you how to sell it. So we love the Trojan horse sales strategy. We're going to go deep dive into what that is. We're going to teach you variants of it so that you can choose the one that works best for you, or maybe switch it up depending on your prospect, which leads me to the next topic, which is prospecting. So we'll show you how to get your first 5, 10 customers through your personal network. We're also going to talk about how you can go scale from there by going outbound to businesses you have no connection to, how to find them, how to determine, which horse you're going to use with your Trojan horse strategy. So you're going to get the prospecting and the sales training as well.
And I apologize to jump in here on you,
Jump on in.
I think what's really cool, if you look at, I mentioned this on the previous call that we did, where we had the college student that attended the one in June, and they just kind of followed the same process about local, who do you know, and then just the whole offer component. And he was at $100 a month recurring in June. Going into his senior year of college, he finished November just right about $11,000 a month recurring through
while in school.
while in college. So if you follow it, it's a simple process, but it's just duplicatable, and it's something, if you follow it, it certainly works.
Yeah, and to add to that, Wesley brought up a good point. There's a lot of young people. There's a lot of I would say advanced people that's been in the journey for a while. There's minorities, there's female entrepreneurs. I'm so proud to tell you that it's a very diverse crowd that comes, even though it's such an intimate setting. Only like 100 tickets or even less now. Maybe it might be sold out by the end of this. But either way, it's a great group of people. I don't know, Chase, if we have pictures of some of the group photos we did in the past.
Probably, in one of these slides. But I think that's a great point. I'm assuming, because it's been true at all the events, you're going to meet people from around the world. I mean, we have people fly in from all around the world for these events. And so you're going to leave with new friends, maybe new business partners, certainly associates, folks that can help you along your journey. We'll also have the swag store if you want to pick up some swag in addition to the swag that we'll have for you there. Again, we've got the open office hours where you can sit down with the team, hammer out your setup. We're also going to talk about onboarding. So after you do sell your clients, how do you kick them off? We're going to have a session around that so that you know exactly what to do once you start landing those clients. And then we'll have some of the founders there. I'm not sure if we'll have all 3, but it will at least have 1. I know that, if not 2. So you'll get to hang out with some of the founding members of High Level. We'll do Q&As with them, but they're there to hang and learn from you as well. I think we're all incredibly proud of our co-founders and how eager they are to sit down with customers, hear from you where you're at in your journey, what you're working on, how we can improve the product to help you scale even faster. So you'll have that opportunity to hang out with them as well. We finished the event with what has become sort of a famous ceremony, the graduation ceremony. You get to get up on stage with co-founders, accept your SaaSPRENEUR certificate. We'll have the professional photographers there to get a bunch of great shots that you'll have access to after the event as well. The graduation ceremony is pretty fun, right, guys? I mean, it's sort of like, it's only 3 days, but it's a huge journey that we go on. And this is sort of the culmination where we all celebrate together and more, right? So, again, we've got an incredible venue where we're going to hang out and celebrate, recap our learnings. We've got really fun events and parties planned for everybody, in addition to the Q&As. And the one slide I guess I forgot to put in here is the Horizon session that we do, which is always cool. So we sit down with co-founders and we talk about what's coming in High Level, what the teams are working on right now. So you get a sneak peek as to what you're going to see roll out over, March and April, and even further into the roadmap there.
Yeah, absolutely. Chase, can you also talk? Well, can you also talk about the difference between our conference summit versus the mastermind? People all often ask us, what's the difference? And I like to think mastermind is more of a let's get things done on a workshop style, where the conference is more of a celebratory type of a scenario. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, our big summit, if you weren't there, we had our second one in October. It's a huge event. It's a huge party. You know, we've got huge keynote speakers that fly in. The mastermind is more laser focused on your career, your journey as a SaaSPRENEUR. As Mike mentioned, SaaS is really the king of all business models. And so this is really an incredible opportunity to have high level as a proven piece of software that you get to sell as your own. And that's what this event is about. It's, hey, I've decided that I want to make this the next step in my career, my journey. I want to start a software company. I'm heading to this event because I expect that by the time I leave, I'll be in business. And that's our goal, is to, if you're just getting started, have you walk out that door knowing exactly how you're going to get your first 5 customers. Or if you're already, maybe you have 100, how are you going to get to 1,000? So that's really the goal of this event. Although we do some partying and have some fun at the same time. If you decide to attend, you will walk away knowing that your technical setup is ready to rock. You are ready to start taking credit cards into the system. You're going to fully understand the proven opportunity and model that we have taught people time and time again every day. You know, Paulson runs a 5-day challenge that helps people accomplish this in 5 days. So you're going to know everything that you need to know without the confusion of where to start. We're going to teach you how to sell it, how to find people to sell it to, how to onboard them. And I think the most important part that we talked about earlier is really the networking, right? Mm-hmm. Don't ask how, ask who. Those folks are going to be in the room. So you're literally going to learn from people who have already done it, but you're also going to meet people who can help you get there faster. And so the networking, I think, is really the most important part. Wesley, we've talked about this a million times. Like, when you go to these events, it's that X factor, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm a big believer when you attend an event. I always try to attend saying, okay, if there's one thing or one person, right? So if you can learn one thing that can impact your event, that impact your business, that more than pays for it, is there that one person that you can meet? Because that's really what propels you forward personally, as well as in a business, is that it's the connections and that, you know, little piece of knowledge that you pick up along the way that you are able to implement. So that's what's really cool. I'm just a really big believer on the networking side.
100%.
Yeah, absolutely.
Paulson, I know you've been to a lot of events, and you know, you've met a lot of important people in your journey that you're still close with today, right?
Yeah, it's insane. I mean, I met Billie Jean at an event in a mastermind in like 2013. And today, you know, he's a powerhouse. Same thing with like guys like Frank Kern and Joe Kaplan. And a lot of these players today are all developed from events in general. Like, you know, everyone, like Krista Mashor said earlier, we collapse the growth timeline of what it takes to launch the business and scale the business by surrounding yourself with the right people. Okay. So this is your opportunity to surround yourself with folks that are in the high level journey launching SaaS. And unfortunately, we don't do these that often because it's a lot of work, and we don't just randomly hire a third-party events management company. We handle this all ourselves internally to make sure you as our customer get the ultimate experience. So these are really cool. We don't do them that often. And now we have 70,000 agencies, and we only have 100 tickets. So if you're seeing this link on the streaming, I promise you, by end of today, it's probably going to be sold out.
Well, we should clarify, there aren't 100 anymore. So we're more than halfway sold, right? So let's talk about tickets, Wesley. Where are we at? How many are left?
So we, as mentioned, you know, we try to keep these small, we keep them intimate. We have total, whenever we we do have capacity constraints whenever we set these up. So we don't reserve, much like the summit where you have the big grand ballroom and so forth. That's not how this is set up. These are set up in the smaller breakout rooms. So those rooms, just due to capacity, fire marshal constraints, they only allow about 110 people. Maybe based on configuration up to about 120. So they're by design meant to be small. So I know we're well over halfway on those tickets. So we really haven't started promoting it yet. We did a webinar where we mentioned it, and we're doing this one today. So this will end up, now we're moving into the end of the year, starting of the new year, we will actually end up promoting this. As you can see, the dates here from February 7th to the 9th. So it's coming quickly.
Wesley, to jump in, Cecilia had a good question about the hotel rooms. I don't know exactly how much the rooms are, but when you get your ticket, we will send you a link that's a special link to use for the room, right?
Correct. Yeah. So whenever you sign up, one of the first things you'll end up doing is getting a specific code that allows you to book rooms within the block, which is a discounted rate. So those are limited as well. So that's an important point. If you want to be in the hotel, it's kind of a cooler experience. As you mentioned earlier, Chase, it's a cool hotel, great location. There are other hotels around,
lots,
in really close proximity. But if possible, stay in the same hotel. It's really cool. But as you can see from the schedule here, as you look over the few days, there's a lot of time we spend together, networking, connecting, and that's why this will be our fourth one, I believe. That's why these sell out weeks and weeks in advance. So,
and I will add, I think every event we've done, we have to have that horrible moment of somebody just flies in without a ticket thinking that they'll be able to get one there. And it's not the case. Like Wesley said, like the fire marshal, the rules, it just can't happen. And so people get turned away, and I remember someone flew in internationally without a ticket and got turned away.
At Summit, I felt so bad. There was someone, they drove 9 hours.
Yeah.
And I was like, unfortunately, because the fire marshal's there, and they would shut everything down. So, but yeah, so from a ticket standpoint, we do keep it purposely. We keep it small. We could have far more.
Someone said my plan foiled. Yeah, don't let it happen to you. I mean, I would say, if you're committed and you've decided that you want to be a SaaSPRENEUR, you want to build a software company through high level, get your ticket as soon as you can. If it's not the right time, no problem. We understand, we will have more masterminds in the future, but don't delay. If you do want to be there in February, you should get your ticket as soon as you can, because they will sell out shortly, and we will have to turn people away. Please don't show up without a ticket.
The one thing also, just to kind of put it in perspective, if you think about it, what I love about this February, it's the beginning of the year, right? Mm-hmm. So it's a good milestone from a standpoint of, okay, new year, new me, new business, making it happen. So there's no better way than to kick off the new year than surrounding yourself by like-minded people, all trying to head in the same direction. Getting access to from a technical standpoint, people there that can help make sure those automations and workflows are firing on all cylinders, and then having access to the instruction and all of the additional resources that come from attending, which I think is also an important part. So Chase, you might kind of talk a little bit about that, but there are some presentations, there's some other things that we end up providing as they attend. So if you look at from a standpoint, October is our next big event. People get on stage. We have the 100 gold, 100 SaaS customers for gold, platinum at 500. February, you have time to make it. So to be on that stage in October. So there's really no better time than this February one to kick off the new year. And also, here's my sales pitch. Let me throw this out there, that if you purchase in December, tax. Maybe it don't have to. I'm not an accountant.
End of the year write-off, exactly.
Maybe it's end of the year write-off, right? Yeah. So we would love to see you there. It's gonna be a blast.
That's a great point. Paulson, any final thoughts? I mean, we've seen hundreds of SaaSPRENEUR award winners now, right? So the model it's proven, it's there. And again, I think we're not here to pressure anyone, but I think for the folks that have decided that they want to do this, this is, I think, the best opportunity, the best place to be. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's a different energy about doing this in person with other people versus just virtually. I see a few people that are here, Cecilia, Mike, a couple of you that are part of the 5-day challenge program that we run. And you may be wondering, well, is it going to be similar content, or is it the same exact thing, or what is it? Like, I will tell you, on the 5-day challenges, some of our online programs, even the virtual workshops, we really just focus on one Trojan horse. Where in the mastermind and other events in person, we bring in multiple different types of Trojan horses, multiple different models. We don't just talk about SaaS model, we talk about the SaaS hybrid and the agency model and all these different things. So definitely come in person if you are very serious about launching your software company. And I really think if you come to one mastermind, you'll probably collapse your growth time from 2 years to maybe like a few months, honestly. And this thing is hard. This is not easy. I mean, it is a lot of work.
I pulled the slide because I knew we weren't going to have as much time for this one. But in the last mastermind webinar, we had a slide where Andy, was it Andy? Someone at one of the masterminds used the presentation that we give you at the mastermind. Went and presented, got like 20 some leads, closed, I think 6 of them. So literally he took the presentation that we're going to give you, we're going to teach you how to use, went and got 6 paying SaaS clients out of it. So if you're committed, I think it's pretty hard to fail. If you come to the mastermind, you're going to get all the tools, everything that you need to go and make this happen. Someone asked, do you have to go to a mastermind to get an award? Absolutely not. But you'll be way more likely to get the award if you're at the mastermind. I will say that. Wesley, any final thoughts?
I was going to say, I think if you look at all the award winners, I would bet 90% of them have gone through the mastermind.
Yeah. Which is, I think it's crazy. Because I mean, when I remember people lined up on the side of that wall at the conference, I'm like, oh, that's the mastermind crowd. That's literally what I thought in my mind. So it is, very realistic for you to connect with people. That's going to take you through that journey. Now, if you've already attended a mastermind, this might be a little repetitive for you. So a lot of our masterminds are similar to another mastermind, few little changes here and there. So don't waste your money unless you want to come and network. We love hanging out with you and being there. But I would probably say this is perfect for someone who has not been to a mastermind just yet. And this is really built around the local market, okay? Our focus is to help you launch in the local market more than anything else, and we'll share strategies and ideas around that.
Absolutely. All right. Well, we are coming up on time, so let's wrap it up. But again, thank you so much for hanging out. We're going to have 2 incredible speakers at this February's mastermind. We can't wait to see you there. If you're ready to, get started or scale up your SaaS journey, this is the event to be at. So thanks for hanging out, everybody. Hope we see you in Dallas in February. Get your tickets before they're gone. See ya.